transmission. Good. Go to the channel.
Did you play the...
Oh,
Your piece, yeah.
All right.
live.
Yeah, we're all over it.
That's okay. All right. Thank you for doing that. Where'd it go? All right. Oh,
Link.
where'd I go?
On its way.
There it is. There it is. Yes. Yes, it is.
Good Times and One Day at a Time will return next Monday evening at their regular times and most of these stations.
And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G. And with me this evening, we have Matt, we have Jimmy. What's going on tonight, gentlemen? Oh, you are muted, my friends. You are muted.
What just happened?
That helps, right? You hear me now, guys?
Yeah, stop muting yourself.
Well, I wanted to enjoy the intro.
Okay.
But I didn't want feedback. So, all right. What happened to the one last time? You already did a new one?
I already did a new one.
That's okay. That's
No, so
jazzy.
what I'm doing now is that I've been working on the intro for like 6 months, and I have like 7 or 8 like abandoned ones that I never used. So
Yeah.
I felt like the need to start finishing them and then putting them up, and then eventually we'll settle on an actual intro, or maybe no intro at all. So because the people complain about, oh, that intro is too long.
Sorry, I wanted to get the glare off the window. All right, that better?
Yep. So this
Oh my
is
God, it's
the
not
fall cycle in review.
It is.
It is.
Yikes.
How did everyone do this cycle? So in the chat, guys, put your higher score in the chat. That's what we'll do.
For that.
A lot,
All over it.
a lot of 469s going on, from what I understand.
This cycle, I was saying before the show started, I've waited on 28s for a while, and I had like a tag team, I had a trio, I had a singles wrestler, so I had like 3 or 4, like whatever wrestlers with 28s.
Sure.
And somehow I still butchered it and didn't get it right. So the back end, but I did pick 4 regionals, and I had a overall good cycle in the BRL. That kind of makes up for everything else.
Matt, 39 is due, buddy. 39.
That's right. When's the steel chair shot coming back? Why won't Johnny B allow rule breaking? This is atrocious. We demand a recount. What match we got going on there?
This is wrestling out of Los Angeles, early 80s.
All right.
You'll see some Roddy Piper a little bit later.
And I'm remembering now I got to remake my logo for the BRL, or make a new logo for the
I
BRL.
need logos from everyone.
I know. It was a rough week for me, so I didn't,
No, I
didn't
got
have
you.
a lot going on. There's a lot coming up just in the game in general as far as IWAR goes, so we'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Awards, ladder match battle royal. We're pushing a lot of events up early this year, so we'll go about that. And I'm looking forward to this gigantic recap of the NWL.
It is so long, and I do apologize in advance. The recap for the NWL will be about 17 minutes long.
Do you want me to do the...
Let's do it. We'll go in order, so we'll do Johnny B questions first, and then we'll go right into NWL.
Do we? But since you're in the mood to do all these, new intros, do we need to have a special Johnny B intro?
We could.
Yeah.
We could.
All right. Well, this, as always, IWA Trivia for episode 202 from Johnny B. Jr., the IWA. If you have questions or
If you have
suggestions
questions,
or
he has
whatever,
answers.
What was the question we wanted to ask? Oh, I know. Before we start this, because I know we'll be watching, we had a proposal for the NWL to help with the roster size. There was no answer. We're just curious if there's a answer coming, or did it get lost in the pile of league reruns? Dick move, bro. Not sorry. I will say one thing quick. I had an email from one of the players, a message. And he's like, hey, they didn't have guys in the Battle Royal. And it's in the BRL, and I won the Battle Royal. I'm like, well, it's a good chance you're probably going to win it because I could see that happening where I win the Battle Royal and lose it. But he didn't, which I actually appreciate that way. When a thing like that happens where like a player, let's say they don't get the right thing played or they miss out on one thing and they correct it, but there's no impact, they don't redo the results. They don't do whatever. They just tell the person, oh, your wrestler's this. We corrected it.
Yeah.
That's nice for everybody.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, this is a first person, third person type thing. Johnny B. Jr. recently asked himself, what are some of the many ways that Matt is better than Alex? All right. For starters, unlike Alex, Matt has actually won the IWA World title. Wow. The title.
That was a gift.
Ouch.
That was a gift.
Yeah, I know, right? Everyone knows that was the gift that year. His involvement with the pro
jugular.
Yeah. His involvement with the pro wrestling industry doesn't consist of pestering athletes while they're trying to sell their merch. In fact, he was Triple H's first sparring partner. It's true. He co-starred in the Game Plan. Co-star is a very generous term. With Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Matt can do a wide variety of entertaining voices, including a pretty mean Peter Griffin from Family Guy. Shut up, Alex. Alex didn't do one, I guess.
I sure did not.
But the difference that really stands out at the moment is that he doesn't abuse his position as co-host of a wrestling podcast to disseminate disinformation about people's musical tastes. Oh, and he doesn't chuckle to himself when someone uses the perfectly innocent word disseminate. Hey, viewers, here's some more disinformation for you. Alex noted on the inaugural Spotlight episode that he is, quote, a proud father of 2, but he has 3 kids. It turned out those black tuxedo condoms he brought from Planned Parenthood were defective, and he impregnated the girl in the backseat of Mike Drake's car. 2 years ago, he disowned his love child for taking a job in Soho at an Apple store. Wow.
True story.
You did make him mad. Johnny B's like
coming out on like, fire.
That is the equivalent of the John Wick club scene where he's just beating the shit out of everybody. Johnny B woke up and chose violence.
He sure did.
Alex, do you have a response for all that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a big fan of the tuxedo condoms, though.
I like the chic ones, the lamb ones. Those are nice.
They're ribbed for her pleasure.
Remember, if there's a pinhole in the wrapper, it's going in the crapper. Don't use it, kids. All right.
I once knew a person. I'm not going to say any names because this person's still around somewhere. That may or may not took a syringe full of hot sauce and chucked them in a couple of condoms and gave them out.
Oof.
That's a real thing that happened.
Wow. All right. Well. Speaking of the Spotlight episode, a nice segue. I noticed on my incredibly awesome Mac computer that Alex manipulated things to have the duration end up being his favorite number of minutes. The show marked the debut of a channel's new intro video, but because I had criticized Tracy's subpar lip-syncing abilities when he sent me a preview, Alex decided the best solution was to simply omit the audio. Well done, sir. How about you give the viewers a treat tonight and mute yourself and turn up the volume on the wrestling video like you did during the pre-Spotlight Tubecast episode? It might not be what the viewers were expecting, but at least Gordon Soley doesn't spread disinformation about people's musical tastes. I reluctantly admit that the new layout looks pretty sharp, so kudos on that front. There you go.
It's not my fault that he likes Seal.
Seal? What's wrong with Seal? He's got that Rose song, and he does a commercial for Sprite, right?
I guess.
Anyways.
He actually bought the CD, so.
An uncredited player asked, via Matt, when managers used to write trash talks, who was responsible for typing it? Because I assume they didn't photocopy someone's handwritten TT, or did they? I've waited a long time for this question, for this answer. Johnny B. Jr. says, during our heyday, we had several typists on staff. They also served as censors and prepared the bulletins for mailing. Most players submitted handwritten trash talk back then, possibly because many of them were teenagers, but also due to the fact that computers, and especially computers equipped with printers, weren't as ubiquitous as they would later become. The original handwritten type pages occasionally made it into the bulletins for various reasons, including a lack of time, illegibility of the writing, and when the submission looked either especially good or especially funny. To this day, a certain portion of TT we receive is handwritten. Some things never change, like our prices.
Oh.
That's you. I think it was you, Alex, that actually came up with that question, I think, right?
I don't remember.
If not, though, it's something we've talked about before, because I always think about, like, on the other end of things, like, as you know, in a job when you deal with the public, you have to, like, kind of bite your tongue sometimes, and people will do things and say things that you're like, ugh. And I did a movie one time, and the whole running gag in the movie was the solution to any IT problem was just reboot.
Yeah.
And I always think, like, of, you know, those typists in that way, we're just like, do we have to put that in there? Do we have to? You know, or I remember occasionally people would have a promo and there would be like a weirdness to it, like just like a word that was used, like, well, that doesn't fit. I wondered when they did censor. I know personally, we got the scratch out a couple of times, Scott and I. But
you can't say donkey punch in the IWA.
No, what we did is we used to work in terms that were not necessarily friendly.
Innuendos.
And we would sometimes. Anyways, we all had a good laugh about it. Speaking of money, all right, so let's segue again. Another unidentified manager inquired, what was the most someone spent in one cycle? I asked, did it break 300? Did it break 500? What was the most active any players ever been? And we both suspected a small group of managers held that honor because they would each routinely challenge every wrestler in their league. That was the old NWL guys. And I'll never forget when they were leaving the NWL, like, commissioners were trying to get there, like, oh, we'll give you this. And they went to this, the guy said to me, where should I go? And I said, well, if you want to keep the same kind of atmosphere and play style, you can go CWL, IWL, BRL. I gave him some options. He instead went to this other league, and he left the game like 4 months later. I was like, there you go. You went to a league where the guy didn't give a shit about the way you want to play. And anyways, okay, so getting back to this. Johnny B. Jr. We've never kept track of that particular statistic. Oh, come on. Sorry. But I believe the aforementioned... Yeah. But I know it's like those pizza shops.
He would definitely remember, because that's the week he treated everyone to Red Lobster in the office.
They went down to Hardee's.
They went down to the Sizzler.
But I believe the aforementioned group completed in a single league. I guess the record setter would be the rather infamous player from our past who was basically an entire stable into himself. I know who he's talking about. His roster spanned numerous leagues across every federation. Did his spending break 300 per cycle? 500? Easily. And just like with some managers in our past, with a wide variety of ranging rosters, he would frequently accuse us of choosing hold values with the express purpose of sabotaging his personal gameplay. I've never understood why anyone would continue playing a game, free or otherwise, if they truly believed the people behind it were corrupt. Or perhaps Vince normalizing putting the corruption to the But perhaps Vince normalizing putting up with the corruption to the bitter end, or maybe it was the government. I know who he means. I won't say his name because he didn't mention. I don't want to name names, but I think I know exactly who he means. That player was everywhere, and it was funny. I don't remember exactly.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. He was in the. It was funny. He was in the BRL for a while, and he did great. He was really doing well. I worked his guys into the angles and stuff, and then like a couple years later, he was like getting all personal attacks. I'm like, what are you going after me for? Like, I didn't do anything to you. Like, I mean, I don't care what the little like squabbly stuff was, whatever. I mean, I always think of it this way. If a player wants to spend a ton of money, the other way has got to be like, go right ahead. But I know that they put some limits in, like the 50 per, I believe it's 20. No, I think it's 50 per fed. See, if Darren was here, he would know. I think it's 50 per fed and 200 max, but I might be wrong. And I remember at one point we were talking about, this is way back when we talked about like, we should say like, there should be like half the IWA could be like limitless in this Wild West. Wherever you want to run, you run it. And then you run the other half and it's limited, but like you have like two IWA, like kind of like WWE. You have the WWE Championship and the World Championship. And I think everybody wins, but that never came to be. Anyways, that was that. All right, so let's see here. Alex wondered what printer we're currently using to print out our bulletins.
It's a
Johnny
Konica.
B. Jr. The Konica. We use a photocopier connected to our network for the bulletins and laser printers connected to individual PCs for things like mailing labels and administrative documents. An anonymous manager queried, what was the most trash talk you ever had in one cycle for one league besides the BRL this cycle? I honestly think it's probably going to be Tommy Christopher's. Remember those stuff. He'd have
Yeah.
massive trash talk. That says, we never kept track of that, and I feel it would be difficult to quantify since some trash talk submissions consist of numerous pages but could still be considered one TT. And relying on a number of pages is problematic because sometimes the size of trash talk is reduced or enlarged to varying degrees depending on factors such as total number of pages in the bulletin. I'll note that volume of trash talk has been increasing quite a bit since the rise of AI. There you go. Yeah. Matt asked, when you guys decided to dump inactive wrestlers, how long do you wait? And I've had this question a number of times from players who are like, I want to take a break. Will the guy still be there? And I always say, well, I can't guarantee it. The best way to guarantee your wrestler's still around, spend the $2, put him in the graveyard league. All right. So Johnny B. Jr. says, during our heyday, we performed that task very aggressively. But now we basically wait until the commissioner complains. Seriously, that's the real answer. It's not uncommon for managers to return after extremely extended absences, and it's not uncommon for them to expect their grapplers to still be hanging around. Perhaps we'd implement a feature that allows players to keep their wrestlers in storage should they need to go on hiatus. Maybe we could even give it a Halloween-type name just for fun. Nah. Should that small group of managers ever return and tend to challenge every wrestler in their league, they'll probably want as many opponents as possible. Still, if you're a commissioner and would like us to evict some of those in your league who are no longer earning their keep, just let us know. I'll say this little add to this. I always think of it like, I want to say the BRL or certain leagues that have just a ton of wrestlers, you can cut down to one rankings page. I'd do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was looking at the WTL was a lot of guys who were like, they were obviously somebody was in there with like 20 wrestlers at one point when it was unlimited and they just left him behind. But
I got a request for Johnny B. We need to see a copy of the Graveyard League's roster.
Well, I feel like we asked him. I feel like we asked him what the number was. I think he told us what the number of wrestlers that were there before.
Give us that in the Halloween report. Into this cycle, give us that. That'd be awesome. Just be cool to see some of the names in there.
Well, you know, Johnny Revolution is the commissioner of the Graveyard League, so that's the whole gimmick.
You probably send trash talk to it every cycle too. Right?
Yeah. Don't threaten me with a good time, buddy.
Johnny B. Jr. says, I'll end this cycle segment with a pronunciation guide. Last time I mentioned the last name of a certain wrestler, who, by the way, is gracing the cover of the latest issue of the IWAR magazine. Sounds like lonelier or homelier. Though he doesn't deserve it, I'll use nicer words this time. Cozier, holier, rosier. Brian Clothier, right? That's good enough. Well, once again, thank you, Johnny B, for chiming in. As always, if you have questions, throw them up in the chat box. Send them to us personally. You know, oftentimes things come up in the chat group, and I'm always like, "Oh, I gotta write that down," and I forget to do it.
I need Johnny B to do a review of Smokey Alexander's album that just got released last week. So,
easy question. I know we've done Thanksgiving before, but did we ask Johnny B his favorite candy and/or favorite costume? We've probably done that before, but it just popped in my head because Halloween's coming up.
I think we've done candy before. Costume, that's interesting.
I think he was into the Bit-O Honeys.
Did he ever have like the plastic ones, like the $6 million man that says $6 million man on it, and then you have the plastic vest, old school style? Those were ridiculous. Like it was literally you're wearing a plastic shirt.
Well, I remember those awful wax lips. I never understood those.
Yeah.
What does it do with this?
Vampire teeth.
Yeah, terrible.
It's ridiculous.
So there's our Idaway Q&A, and now
Johnny B, I'm sorry. Whatever I did to make you mad, I'm sorry.
Johnny B, unleashed.
You know the last time he got this mad at me is when I accused him of driving a Kia. He got real upset.
Alex, you need to go find the clip of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where what was his name? Carlton was going to get a gun and shoot the gangster, and he's like, "This week on a very special Fresh Prince." Carlton, you don't understand, man. I was going to do it. Oh.
All right, so let's start with NWL. Let me pull that up real fast. Okay. National Wrestling League, Bulletin 243. League champion winning 10 free matches, Mark the Fan Botch. TV champion, Random Baltimore Vagrants. Central Plains champion, G-Force, Gary Morris. East Coast champion, The Great Entertainer, Blind Clothier. Great Lakes champion, Crush Groove, which is a hell of a movie, by the way. If you have not seen Crush Groove, the film, it's fantastic. It has the Fat Boys in it. Mid-Atlantic, you never seen Crush Groove?
No.
Was it Mario Van Peebles, Sheila E., and the Fat Boys?
That sounds familiar.
Beastie Boys are in it too. LL Cool J makes a cameo in there. It's a good flick. Check it out. Mid-Atlantic champion, Jira Kainsman. Northeast champion, Prince Pimplefire. Pacific Northwest champion, Styling Savion Banks. Rocky Mountain champion, Magnum AI. Southeast champion, Wild Child Rachel Kainsman. Southwest champion, Captain Midnight. West Coast champion, Ryan Rivers. League Tag Team Champion, Styling, Savion Banks, and Crush Groove. TV Tag Team Champions, Magnum AI, and Zizzz. League Six-Man Champions, winning another 5 free matches. Ryan Clothier, Gary Morris, and the Random Baltimore Vagrant, the Maryland Militia. TV Six-Man Champion, Super Mickmus, Mack Truck Murphy, and Mark the Fan Botch. Your Battle Royal winner is Mark the Fan Botch. He did really well this cycle. I think he had a 500. Which is insane. Good job overall. Guys, this cycle was the NWL pay-per-view unscripted. So we're just going to quickly do that real fast. But in the meantime, I have to share the screen with you guys. So let's do that so you guys can actually hear it while I talk to you.
Uh-oh.
Sound. Windows. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. All right, here we go. It's going to be a hell of a ride, guys. 17 minutes long.
Welcome to the NWL Cycle 243. The bulletin opens with a declaration of war. Attention NWL. Captain Midnight is a pest and must be destroyed. The age of heroes is over. Magnum AI cuts the first full promo, proclaiming himself wrestling's evolutionary apex. He boasts that the rookie Zizix could never win gold alone, and that his genius elevated Zizix to championship status. Together, they'll seize every title worth having. And anyone who fails them will be erased. El Luchador Americano, fired. Crush Groove, unworthy. Prince Pimplefire, a clown with no class. Juricane's men and his filthy sister, disgraces to the ring. As Magnum storms out, he spots a fan wearing a Captain Midnight shirt, rips it in half, grabs another fan by the neck before security hauls him away, while the crowd stands frozen in horror. The message is clear. The machine has no mercy. Then the lights dim for a haunting vignette. Ark the Fan Botch sits alone in an empty locker room, clutching his torn Fish Fam 4 Life shirt. His brothers have left for the BBL. He's the last fish left gasping. He stares at a mysterious pallet of MK Ultra Violence energy drink delivered to him unasked, wonders if someone still cares. He hasn't opened a can yet, but he's thinking about it. The camera lingers on his hollow eyes as he whispers, "What's the worst that could happen?" Fade to black. Cut to G-Force Gary Morris, scrolling a tablet backstage. He sees RTL's Vagabond staggering toward the ring with a shopping cart and shakes his head. Not happening. I'm not managing a soup kitchen tag team. Then he catches footage of the masked militia, dressed like him and Clothier. He spits out his water and speed dials. "Clothier, you won't believe this. Turn on RTL now." The Maryland militia storyline is officially back in motion. Next, a mock infomercial from the Captain Midnight fan club. Autograph signings move to the nursing home bingo hall. Threat level midnight access only $60. T-shirts $30. 4XL sold out. Even his own marketing rep admits, "I've never actually met the captain. He pages me like it's 1992. It's surreal comedy between bouts of violence, the NWL tone in a nutshell. Then the house lights die at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Scapegoat by Fear Factory hits. And out walks Ryan Rivers. Black tights, black boots, black zip jacket reading, "New effin' show." No words, just presence. Ace Stevens, fresh from victory, calls him out. Rivers answers with a cradle piledriver that leaves Stevens motionless. He unzips his jacket, drapes it over the body. New effin' show. And the new effin' era is born. Backstage again, stylin' Savion Banks and Crush Groove in the locker room. Groove tells him to chill. Banks sees about losing to the wrestling version of Bill Dodereeve. Groove stays mellow, bragging about another regional win. Banks snaps that he's focused on greatness, while Groove just coasts on vibes. They trade barbs until Banks turns serious. Everyone else has been drafted out. Clothier, Morris, Luchador Americano, Botch, the Fish Fam. Savion Banks and by association Crush Groove are about to run this league every single day. The come-up is real. Groove can't resist one last joke about La Chilindrina being a snack, and Banks walks off shaking his head. The camera shifts to Jira and Rachel Kainsman, arrogant as ever. They brag about sitting at number 2 and number 3 in the power rankings. Todd Okerlund steps in, reminding them of their 3 losses each. Rachel glares, admits Savion Banks surprised them, but promises a handicap match to settle it. Jira calls out Brian Clothier, mocking him for losing to a man named Botch. Rachel adds G-Force Morris to the list. Hang on to that Southeastern title, 'cause we're coming for you. The siblings leave Okerlund speechless. Then Prince Pimplefire cuts loose. 10 opponents down before breaking a sweat. Then tossed from a battle royal by Slimin' Savion Banks after being blinded by the shine of that greasy head. He challenges Banks to a fight. This grip don't slip, and when I get that greasy head in the pimple popper, you'll be filing Savion Banks, filing for disability. The Miami night burned hotter than the pyro, as NWL Unscripted kicked off under open skies. A storm of chaos ready to drown the arena in spectacle and betrayal. Lance Catamaran and Pierre Roulette welcomed the world to a night with no card, no order, no script, just anarchy. And from the first second, it lived up to its name. The show opened with Will Smith performing Welcome to Miami live, only for Jack Cornette to storm the stage mid-chorus and crack him across the back with a pickleball racket, yelling "That's for Chris Rock." The crowd erupted. Cornette grabbed the mic, declared everyone in the stadium banned from the Fixins Bar, and promised to do the devil's dirty work himself. The Oak Ridge boys tried to follow with Elvira, were booed out of Miami, and Cornette declared the first match right there, the Fish Fam versus the Regulators for the National Tag Team Championship. The match was pure brutality. Mr. T forced a reluctant Fish Fam to the ring. While Pierre joked they were on loan from the Brazilian Butt Lift League, the lights went out and Iron Man hit. The Regulators stormed out like executioners. What followed wasn't a match. It was a demolition. The Regulators flattened the Fish Fam in minutes, powerbombing Jesus through a flaming table as Lance screamed, "Jesus has been resurrected," into the fire. They kicked Chilindrina in the face on the way out and left the belts behind. Zahorian and Medic swarmed the ring as Cornette ranted, and then, in the chaos, declared the titles still on the line, ordering Gary Morris and Brian Clothier of the Maryland Militia to face the broken Fish Fam immediately. The militia stormed out, armed with Cornette's beloved pickleball paddle. They beat the Fish Fam senseless until Supa Mikamis threw a handful of glitter into Gary's face, sparking a brief, shining comeback. But when Mark, the Fan, Botch ran in swinging a chair, hitting himself instead, the militia capitalized. Gary and Clothier hit the double cover. 1, 2, 3. New National Tag Team Champions. Cornette laughed maniacally as the militia celebrated over the bodies of the Fish Fam. Backstage, Todd Okerlund attempted an interview with newcomer Prince Pimplefire, but it was hijacked 3 times, first by Dr. Zahorian, rambling about Giza's suffering grade 9 thoracic burnout and possibly Lyme disease, then by Vic Venom, who called Miami a fake tan hellhole and demanded to know where Johnny Revolution was hiding, and finally by Tracy, who strutted in declaring herself referee, ring card girl, and judge for the next bout. Todd, exasperated, tossed to Lance and Pierre, muttering that he'd lost control of the building. What followed was the celebrity boxing circus nobody expected. Jake Paul versus Mr. T. Tracy officiated with the instructions, no biting, no low blows. Oh, who am I kidding? Do whatever you want. Jake Paul showboated, mocking Mr. T, until the legend calmly unzipped a bag full of money, threw it at Paul's chest, and cold-cocked him with an uppercut that nearly left him airborne. One punch, lights out. Vanilla Ice, Todd Bridges, and Steven Seagal celebrated mid-ring as Tracy raised T's arm in victory, and Pierre yelled, "That bag came with a concussion clause." The next match saw Magnum AI face Captain Midnight. Midnight tried to sell t-shirts on the way to the ring and even offered AI a fan club membership card. AI remained motionless. Midnight dominated early, hitting crisp moves and playing to the crowd until Stylen Savion Banks appeared, stealing a Midnight t-shirt from a kid and yelling, "You don't need this, fat boy." Midnight turned to yell, and AI struck. The artificial finisher. 1, 2, 3. Midnight rolled out of the ring, still trying to sell merch as AI walked away like a machine without emotion. Then the lights dimmed and chaos took form. The Death Pack, minus Bullman Bolt, hit the ring. Johnny Revolution, Kim by his side, cigar in mouth. Revolution called out Johnny B, declaring, "You've been a thorn in my side since 1987. Tonight it ends." He demanded Johnny sign over the IWA for $1 in exchange for Kim's freedom, promising Jack Cornette a job managing an Orange Julius. Before the deal could go down, Hot Stuff Adams' music hit. He marched out, declaring, "Even Luther Alexander has friends," and was joined by Johnny Vegas, the Regulators, Ricky Spanish, Alexander J. Styles, the Graces, and finally Luther Alexander himself. Luther hugged Adams and sneered, "Johnny Revolution, you're so predictable. While you were out here talking, we beat down the Shane Syndicate and took out Bullman Bolt." He told Johnny B not to sign anything, and then Kim suddenly ran from backstage into the ring. The crowd cheered until she low-blowed Johnny B right in the groin. Gasps everywhere. Kim grabbed a mic and unleashed venom. "I've dealt with whining babies for years. No days off, no raises, no appreciation. Screw you, JB. You can call me Kim at myiwa.com. The Death Pack and Kim retreated through the crowd as Luther and his allies stood in disbelief. Revolution puffed his cigar and smiled. Backstage, the Canes men tried to cut a promo, but were interrupted by Jack Cornette looking for that idiot Botch and ranting about how Revolution went too far. Zahorian wandered in again to deliver a testicular trauma update, announcing that Johnny B suffered bilateral orchic rupture with catastrophic tissue displacement. Cornette gagged. Then Tracy interrupted, locking eyes with Rachel Kane's men and tearing her down, calling herself the only real woman in the NWL, and accusing Rachel of hanging out behind the dumpster at the bus station. Rachel was ready to swing before Todd Okerlund cut them off, throwing it back to Lance. Then came Gary Morris in the ring, declaring he'd defend his Grand Prix title against anyone. He called out El Luchador Americano, Ken Davis, Bullman Bolt, Big Ben, even Hulk Hogan and Invader number 2. But nobody answered. Backstage, Supa Mikamis and Chilindrina dragged Cornette to Mark the Fan Botch, who was surrounded by crushed MK Ultra Violence cans, shaking with rage. He punched Supa, threw Chilindrina to the floor, and stormed to the ring. Gary was still listing names when Botch attacked like a rabid animal. After a flurry of chaos and a top rope botch splash, Botch pinned Gary and became the new Grand Prix champion. Then choked Gary unconscious, decked Supa and Chilindrina, and left through the crowd with the belt, screaming. The arena lights dimmed again for a special trailer. Canon Films presents Porky's the Reboot, starring Luther Alexander, Todd Bridges, Tracy Koloff, Doja Cat, Amy Schumer, Megan Fox, Sydney Sweeney, Steven Seagal, Adam Cash, Bruce Lee's Ghost, and Conrad Bain. The trailer, filled with explosions, slow-motion dancing, and Luther punching lockers that burst into flames, ended with Tracy whispering, "Extra credits mandatory." The crowd cheered and laughed, a brief moment of levity before the storm. Then came the war to end the night. Brian Clothier versus Notorious Jesus for the NWL National Championship. Clothier demanded Cornette hand him the belt, but before they could come to blows, sirens blared and an ambulance backed up to the ramp. Out stumbled Jesus, bandaged, burned, defiant. "Jesus has been resurrected," Lance shouted. "It hasn't even been 7 days," Pierre shot back. The bell rang and they tore into each other in an all-out 6-star brawl. Suplexes, near falls, blood. The Fish Fam and Maryland Militia exploded at ringside. Fighting through the crowd, Jesus hit the DFU DDT, scoring the free count to reclaim the national championship as the arena lost its mind. The Fish Fam grabbed him and fled through the fans with the belt, just as Mark Botch stormed out and decimated the Maryland Militia, flattening everyone in sight. And then the lights went out for good. The unscripted logo burned across the Jumbotron before fading to black. The only light came from the faint glow of Revolution's cigar as the Death Pack returned to the ring with Kim and Brett Steele for the non-sanctioned Lights Out main event. Brett Steele, the former IWAR World Champion, hadn't wrestled in 10 years, and he walked that ramp like a man stepping into legend one last time. Revolution and Kim flanked him, the RX theme blaring, a final insult to Luther Alexander. Then came Luther himself, dressed in all black. Surrounded by his entourage, Adam Cash, Ricky Spanish, Alexander J. Styles, the Regulators, Johnny Vegas, and the Graces. He paused only to kiss Tracy at ringside and sent everyone back to the locker room. This was personal, no introductions, just two men, 20 years of history, and the end of an era. The fight began slow and methodical, Steele rusty but powerful, tossing Luther with brutal German suplexes, chaining them together like he'd never missed a day. The crowd chanted, "You still got it!" Luther's chest turned crimson from chops, then bled under the assault. Something snapped. He unloaded a flurry of elbows, then connected with the Soviet superkick, followed by the Soviet sky elbow, and finally locked in the Kata Hajime, the oxygen destroyer. Steele fought, clawed, and tapped, but Luther refused to let go. The referee screamed. Cornette and Mr. T hit the ring, trying to pry him off. Nothing worked. Steele went limp. Skin turning blue. Dr. Zahorian rushed in, but it was too late. Luther finally released, stood over the fallen legend, and grabbed the microphone. He yelled in Russian, "That's the best you've got, Johnny? It's not enough. I am the best. I am the most dangerous. I am Alexander." Then, switching to English, he pointed at Revolution and snarled, "Johnny, I'm coming for you." Zahorian couldn't revive Steele. Luther stared down, his face emotionless. If he dies, he dies. Revolution just puffed his cigar and smiled. The screen faded to black. NWL Unscripted ended in total silence. No music, no commentary, no credits. Just the sense that something irreversible had happened. In Miami, the show with no script wrote its own ending in blood. Finally, chaos backstage, sirens, EMTs, debris. G-Force Morris stands bruised, ribs taped, beside Brian Clothier clutching a tag belt. Morris growls that Unscripted was supposed to be their night. Instead, Mark the Fan Botch drank the MK Ultra and unleashed something uncontrollable. You think that chemical cocktail made you a monster? You haven't met me yet. Clothier adds that Jesus can flaunt the national championship and Botch can play mascot, but the Maryland Militia erases obstacles. You tried to take our places. Now we'll take your careers. Morris ends it cold. It's not revenge. It's correction. And when the militia corrects something, we don't stop until it's perfect. Now live from Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, Florida. Broadcast exclusively on the Spice Network. No rules, no filters, no apologies. Ian Mooney signing off, not back to the Tubecast.
All right, we are back. So that was like 95% accurate. The AI struggled with this pay-per-view. Like, when I tried to put it in there to get it recap, it had a tough time with it.
I enjoy the movie situation, like starring so-and-so and so-and-so. Porky's reboot.
I like to put those in there just to. I use them as bridges to go from segment to segment, especially with the interviews and some of the backstage stuff. Because if you're watching an actual show, that's the way it kind of goes. At least in my write-ups. Now, other people's write-ups could be whatever they want them to be, but for me personally, it's very much like a show that you would actually see on pay-per-view or on a streaming service. Like I said, it's 90% accurate. Got some of the names wrong. Went out of order a couple times, but it had a tough time. It wanted to combine segments that had multiple people in it. Like, it really wanted to combine, like, that Death Pack segment with the Brett Steele match at the end. It really, like, I had to separate that. That was rough. So, you know, it's not there yet, tech-wise, but we'll get it there eventually.
All right. Well, I think that was a quality recap.
I think so. It's very long.
That's all right. I enjoyed it.
All right, where do you want to go next?
Jimmy, what do you feel like doing?
Let's do ACW.
There it is.
Okay.
Give me just a minute here.
It's the ACW.
All right.
I have a note.
ACW.
You have a note from Ryan?
Yeah, so when you're done, I'll read it off.
I'm not wearing any pants today. I'm sorry.
ACW League Champion, Texas, Jesse Tombstone.
Boo!
American Territories Champion, Brad the Executioner Hart. New England Champion, Philo Beto. Atlantic Coast Champion, Jackknife Justice. Great Lakes Champion, Shrug Shadow. Smoky Mountain Champion, Jawbone Jack. Deep South Champion, The Total Package U.S. Mail. Gulf Coast Champion, Cowboy Jim Spur. Texas Heartland Champion, Shotgun James Carnage. Rocky Mountain Champion, Luther Alexander.
Yay!
Desert States Champion, Blackjack Robertson. Pacific Coast Champion, the Crimson Ego A.O. Bloodthorn. League Tag Champs, Shotgun James Carnage and Texas Jesse Tombstone. American Territories Tag Team Champs, Starlight and Ravishing Dick Dude. League Six-Man Champs, The Regulators, Shotgun James Carnage, Blackjack Robertson, and Texas Jesse Tombstone. American Territory Six-Man Champs, Eddie Chavez, FedEx Bobby Brutal, and Tino Santana. And your Battle Royal winner is Jackknife Justice.
So what's going down in the ACW? What are your notes, Matt?
It's a quick note from Ryan. He wrote, Tombstone winning the Triple Crown, 165 matches.
Doesn't deserve it.
$2.3 million in IWA cash. It starts back at 10 matches and 100,000. And we were talking before the show. This was around in the IWL for years when Ryan was a commissioner. And I remember Alex von Schnapp won it once and got like 100 or something. It was ridiculous. It was great. But then a player had the Triple Crown, but there was one big stipulation. You had to be a trash talker. You had to submit promos. And he didn't. So he did not win the prize. He was pissed.
He's very upset.
All right, so
very upset.
Next cycle are the points for the Desert Storm ELE or Elite Live Event.
Ugh.
If you want to read the card, I'm adding El Luchador Americano to the Brad Executioner Hart versus AO Bloodthorn match.
No.
All right, you heard it here first. Hart called out anyone in both Bloodthorn and Americano answered. Got 3 new guys in the draft, 6 free agents, and 3 more maybe on the way. Lots of new faces. And let me quickly jump on the ACW and just quickly preview pay-per-view. Here it is. Desert Storm Conflict, Phoenix, Arizona. See here. So, Shotgun James Carnage defends against Mime Malice. United States champ Miles Maverick defends against Hocus Crocus. You know, there's just not enough wrestling frogs right
No,
stage,
you need more.
what we need is a return to the wrestling bear days.
Yes.
ACW tag title match: Shotgun James Carnage and Texas Jesse Tombstone take on Ken the Anvil Neidhart and Terry Garnia. ACW heavyweight trios match: General's Pleasure, Colonel Flustered, STF Ewing, the champions face the Regulators, and then a number of contenders battle royal with a lot of dudes. So there you go. There was also a casket match. Miles Maverick versus Luther Alexander. Didn't Luther kill his mother or something like that?
No, his mother died. He wasn't involved with that, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
She might be
Death
in the
Valley...
casket that you have to go in, though.
Well, Luther's pulling double duty. He's also facing Swamp Sock Jr. in a Death Valley death match.
Yeah, which is actually a match that will be taking out in the desert. That's going to be the ring's going to be surrounded by cactus. Might
nice. And a singles match. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. A bull rope match with Keanu Thunder versus Cowboy Jim Spur. Once again, the total package, U.S. mail, snubbed. No, I'm kidding. I think he's actually in one of the Battle Royals. He is. All right. So, there's a chance yet. There could be some surprises coming to ACW soon. So, get involved. But that's the ACW for you.
I dig it. And in Weekly World News, there's an exclusive about how Ryan Patrick wears no pants. So, keep that in mind. And they also have Swamp Sock Jr.'s new tag team partner, Barry Balloonman, as well.
Isn't it Pantsless Ryan Patrick, his ring name?
That's what it should be.
Oh my God, it's the Pantsless one! Comes out to Margaritaville.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Where are we going next?
Let's see. You want to do BWL?
Sure. All right. Black Widow League. Number 61, League Black Widow champion Aria Gunpowder with a 501. So depending how strong it is, it'd be a nice shot at the IWA Women's Championship. The television champion Queen Bee, Sarah B. Money. The Battle Royal winner Bandita. Japan Idol champion Huntress. Joshi champion The Black Soul Lizzie Robin. Senjo champion Bandita. Luchadores champion Golden Girl Gina Colada. I keep forgetting to change her name. Sorry about that. Cholitas champion, the sensational Sydney Renard. Bellatrix champion, Wildfire Betty Red. Themysciara champion, Veruca Salt. Hollywood champion, a newcomer, La Femme Fatale, Vero Vaughn. Sin City champion, Fallon Donovan, another newcomer. And Willowwick champion, Enchantress, who's also relatively new. So great. And I also noticed in the rankings, Latina Pitbull, Eva Rodriguez. Love the name. Happy to see some new additions. And, BWL has been doing very well, very consistent. Patrick's doing a great job with it. So thank you all for getting involved. This cycle was the Girls Gone Wild cycle where we could spend as much as we wanted. I was a little distracted, so I forgot to send in extra matches. Whoops, my bad. There you go.
Oh, there's some comments regarding the draft. To pivot from that question that we got, me and Matt talked about trying to get everyone to put their top guys in the draft for next year, like having an all-star draft, because I think that would be super interesting to have whoever your main guy is. And most people at least has one main guy. Some people have three, but everyone has their main guy that hey, this is my top guy. It's throwing everyone's top guy into the draft and see how that would turn out, because I think that would be a lot of fun. Because it makes those decisions very hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you think about it, the draw, this year's draft, depending on what the NWL does as far as generating wrestlers, could really use some star power. So, yes. But Lanny Teague, big fan of Lanny Teague. So,
to me, imagine a draft that has Senior Lucha and Luther and the Chameleon and Phil Landers draft.
Yes. It might just happen.
It might. We'll see when we get there. Also, I want to put up, please let us know. We'll get you on there.
Yeah, that would help.
That would help. Let's see. What's next? Let's do CWL. I'll do it. Alrighty. Continental Wrestling League, number 346. The League Champion, The Edge, Johnny Walker. TV Champion, Axel Von Schnapp. United States Champion, The Genuine Titus Castle. British Isles champion, the Major, Benny Factor. Arabian champion, Diamond Daddy. South African champion, Reebok. League Tag Team champion, the Major, Benny Factor, and the Genuine Artificial. TV Tag Team champion, Shane the Train Gloom and Meek Mike Zenith. League six-man champions, Hardin DeBoof, Titanius, and Titus Castle. TV six-man, 3 matches, the Genuine Artificial. So what's going down in the CWO? We have the next pay-per-view, which is Wrestle Frenzy. World title match will be Nature Boy Phil Landers taking on Barry USA Stevens. Internet title match, Alex Von Schnapp, the champion, taking on Scapegoats. Hope Scapegoat destroys Von Schnapp, by the way. 6-man title match, Nutty Bunnies versus Anu Start, That and I, and Jonathan Davis. Tag team title match, Brickhouse Boys versus Millennial Reign versus the Bullseye Syndicate. Number 1 contender match to the CWO World title, the Duke Wesley Sterling taking on the league champion for 346, which would have been who? That would have been Johnny Walker. So, breaking news there. And the number 1 contenders match for the CWO Internet title would be Johnny Walker versus the Chameleon taking on Axel Von Schnapp. So, that's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. So that card again is subject to change. Poor Lazarus Lane who got his house burnt down last cycle. So that's that's always fun. Just make sure you guys are taking a look at the Blaze 411. Make sure you see that recap. And CWL is awesome as always. So a picture from Big Bag Bob, by the way. It's always good to see. Always good to see.
Big Bad Bob.
He can be so much better. Like he's entertaining on a certain level, but like there's so much he could do there, and he just doesn't. And it's disappointing from time to time. It's like, go all the way with it, buddy. Come on now. All right, Matt. Where do you want to go? Where are we going?
Let's see. Jimmy? Where do you want to go?
Let's do the IWO.
IWO. Okay.
Do you want me to do that, Abel, or?
I got it. Independent Wrestling League 216. League champion, Magnifico Astro. Television champion, The Chameleon. New York City champion, Alex Von Schnapp. Los Angeles champion, Justin Grace. Boston champion, The Maltese Monster. Detroit champion, Ultimo Astro. Cleveland champion, Chase Grace. Dallas champion, Americano Hank Henkel. Memphis champion, Alec Von Schnapp. Miami champion, Joe Boring. San Francisco champion, Jumbo Machine. Chicago champion, Rey Del Mundo. Tag team champion, Excelente Astro and Ultimo Astro. TV tag team, Chase Grace and Justin Grace. League 6-man champs, The Honorable Guilty as Hell, Perry Legal, and Litigation. TV 6-man champs, Andrew Ace Armas, Alex Ariba Armas, and Boink, the Child Entertainer. And your Battle Royal winner, Justin Grace, winning 39 free matches. And where's their pay-per-view? So, Hardcore Holiday is up next. Is that right?
Sounds right.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, I'm scrolling through here. Is there a card for Holiday Hardcore Holiday?
I don't see one yet.
No, nothing yet.
No, I don't think so. But
Get your trash talk in. Let's get some matches going.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I know the IWA Championship is paralegal defending against Los Americano Hank Henkel, because that makes sense. And Hank Henkel does a nice little Rocky tribute if you look at the trash talk there. So
awesome.
There it is. All right.
There it is. So what's next?
Do you want me to do? Let's see here.
We got left. We got BBL, BRL, and RTL, WTL.
Why don't you do
Yeah.
BBL?
You want me to do BBL?
I do.
Okay. Okay. I feel like you get set up for something here.
You sure are.
All right, Bloodbath League Tour 576. League champion Dominant Factor Rage, TV champion He-Man Hoven, Central Plains champion The Decapitator, East Coast champion Borg Genesis, Great Lakes champion Dominant Factor Fury, Midland champion Dominant Factor Nemesis, Northeast champion Notorious Jesus, Pacific Northwest champion
Jesus.
Lanky Alani Love, Rocky Mountain champion Machine, Southeast champion Knuckleave, Knuckle Ave.
Yes. Keep it going.
I am not going anymore. That's it. That's all you get. God damn it.
Knuckleave, Knuckleave.
Unbelievable. Southwest champion Jammin Johnny Love. West Coast champion Tomax Firefly. League tag team champions The Leprechaun and Knuckleave. TV tag team champions Machine and El Mascarado. League six-man champion Mr. Smith, Corporal Punishment, and Pork Rind. TV six-man champions Dominant Factor War, Dominant Factor Wrath, and Dominant Factor Envy. Your Battle Royal winner, winning 30 free BBL matches, Borg Genesis. What's going down?
Look at those new draft guys making a name over there.
They do it. They
Borg
do.
Genesis.
Borg Genesis.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The Fish Fam is in the house.
Up the ranks.
That's it. That's why we
That's
do
what
these
I'd like to
things.
see.
It's dope.
That's why Matt had you read BBL, because he didn't want to try Knuckleave.
Knuckleave.
Damn right.
Let's see. What's their pay-per-view coming up? Was Highway to Hell? Is that it?
Bloody Sunday.
Bloody Sunday? Ah, there it is. Bloody Sunday. More matches to come, so let the commissioner know, plus any stipulations. But we have a Russian chain match. Russian Destroyer #1 versus Alpha Hotel. In a street fight, He-Man Hoven taking on Warpig. Ghidorah 6M? What the hell does that mean? What kind of match is that? Now I'm curious. Ghidorah? Like from Godzilla?
Ghidra. Like
Yeah.
Godzilla, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Mr. Smith, Pork Rind, and Corporal Punishment versus to be determined. And Hounds of Hell tag is Dominant Factor Wrath War versus to be announced. And the KOH championships. What? The KOH.
What?
God damn it. The
We carry?
Stick. The KOH champion Skullfire taking on TBD.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then we have.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say, I believe Ghidra was the three-headed dragon or whatever it was, right?
Ghidra, yeah.
Ghidra,
Godzilla?
space dragon.
Yeah. King Ghidorah, if you want to be a jerk about it. I watched a lot of
Yeah,
Godzilla, so. They actually had two names. And there was Mecha one. He had the head chops off and they put the head on it. Then they had the mechanical head. That was dope. Watch Destroy All Monsters. Come on. It's a good flick. Ghidra, I guess that's the six-man championship. I'm assuming. Oh, it's a women's. Is that a women's tag thing?
Yes.
Okay.
That's double the action.
Gotcha. I gotcha. So that's the pay-per-view. And they also have the Bloody Battle Royal coming up. That's the November cycle, so keep that in mind. Fish Fam. I miss Fish Fam already, by the way. I don't think they even know they lost the belts and they won the national championship. That means they're going to be on loan. Poor Jesus. I guess get announced the main event for the NWL pay-per-view, which is Graduation, will be Brian Clothier taking on Jesus for the belt. That's that now, I guess.
Nice.
All right, where do you want to go next?
Let's see. I can do. I can do the BRL if you want.
Okay.
All right. So The BRL number 644, the fall edition, is a mere 92 pages.
That's it.
92. That's right. We'll get to
My
the
bad.
good stuff in a bit, but I can do. All right, so league champion for the 11th time, tying the record. Hot Stuff Adam Cash, who wins $25 in IWA credit. The Battle Royal winner, winning $25 in IWA credit. Monster Truck Tanaka. So I had a good cycle no matter what happened. TV champion El Grandioso. Central Plains champion Lex Stevenson, who had a 501. So there you go. East Coast, Monster Truck Tanaka. Great Lakes, Diabolical Ricky Savage. Mid-Atlantic, Fatty the Butcher. Northeast, Big Guns, Greg Gana. Pacific Northwest, El Barbero. Rocky Mountains, Jobber of the Week, John Doe. Southeast champion, Fab Dazzle. Southwest champion, Razzle Dazzle. And West Coast, Genchiro Teriyaki. The tag champions, for the 4th time, Fab Dazzle and Razzle Dazzle. And the TV tag champions, Vex Virelli and Gavel Graves. The 6-man champions, the Alpha Males. And the TV 6-man champions, the McFlahertys and Michael Presbeluski.
I dazzled in my
right.
pants before we started the Tubecast.
There you go.
There it is.
So that's the title page. We have, of course, the cycle results for the Battlecade pay-per-view, which we're actually running. The results for this cycle, the write-up will be in next cycle, November. So a little early, but that way we can clear the deck for all of the stuff we got to do for the year-end things. But results include... Let's see here. I can read my chicken scratch. That's probably should have done a better job of that. Well, the big upset was that Lex Stevenson crushed Lion Heartthrob to become the new global champion with a 501. And I'll say this: I don't know if Heartthrob was inactive. I don't know if Neil made it in last time. He missed the deadline, and I don't know if he was this cycle. I put a match in for the event, so he may be showing as active, but he may not have actually been active. If that's the case, I always feel like when you have a situation where like your champion goes inactive, but the guy who beats them has like a 501, you know they would have won no matter what. So it's kind of like, oh, all right, good.
The point is moot.
Right, yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. And another big surprise, Salt and Pepper, Ricky Salt and Robert Pepper upset the McFlahertys to become the new global tag champions.
Oh, shit.
In a 6-man title match, the Alpha Males turned back Polar Circle to retain. I actually haven't done the King Khan match, so I could tell you the results right now. Do you want me to do that, Jimmy?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I do. I always go back to the results. So scores, it was King Khan. King Khan, where is he? Let's see here. Oops. The 494, and his first challenger, we actually swapped out Dixon Ticonderoga because Scott's been active. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Who was the other guy? I hit it a second ago. Hold on. Sasquatch, that's right. So, Squatch. He had a 490. Oh, that's not him. There he is. He had a 4. Holy crap. He had a 464, so that's double the hold. And the mystery challenger, well, we'll just reveal that at the show, won't we? You'd like to know, wouldn't you? Well, I'm not going to tell you. The same way I'm not going to tell you who won the Elimination Chamber. Just know that it happened. The 6-man title shot match was won by Team Meow. They beat the Brothers Heyman. There was a tie in the tag match, so we're going to talk about how to settle that. And let me see here. I'm reading my scribble notes. I'm sorry. American Destroyer beat Joe Tusa to earn one of the spots. And Squeakums defeated Manny Nuff to earn the other. So Squeakums and American Destroyer will advance on to a title shot at WrestleRama. And the Suburban Hell Savages defeated the Book Club. There will be follow. So that is that. We have all kinds of like stuff coming in booked wise to make the pay-per-view a little more jazzy. So stay tuned for that. But if you want a good hoot of a read, I highly suggest you check out the latest BRL's episode of Tuesday night's Grand Slam. Jimmy, do you want to give a little info on that?
Yeah, so a lot of hijinks going on. A little bit of a whodunit. Ghostface makes an appearance. You'll notice that it's Double D Christoph that's taking a look at the website to look at Tuesday Night Grand Slam. So the Easter eggs are Double D Christoph related. Yeah, so let's hear in your trash talk who you think done it. There's a lot of Easter eggs in there.
Nice.
And if you're ever wondering for what spooky movies to watch for Halloween, there is plenty of choices in this write-up. So consider it your Halloween entertainment advertisement. What? No. And apologies for the preview. I lost power. We were at a pretty bad windstorm, and I wasn't able to get characters created in time. So there will be pictures in next week's write-up, but next Tuesday Night Grand Slam is John Doe versus Mad Max Red Wolf, Hillbilly Kevin versus Hillbilly Voodoo Docs Holland, Tsuyoshi Mizuko versus the Playboy Mick Ferrari, and the Brothers Heyman stepping in the ring against the Regulators. Regulators wasting no time to get on the card.
That's what they do. Sons of bitches.
Bastards.
So if anybody has requests for Tuesday Night Grand Slam or angles that you want to help push, feel free, and I'll do my best to work those in. Matt and I have been talking about them quite a bit. Folks have reached out, and we've done our best to further storylines and whatnot. So timing on these are a little bit awkward because they're announced with the results happening in the same cycle. So, yeah, if you want in, reach out. We'll do our best.
I, in fact, dig that. Alrighty, well.
You want to go over the big news on the briefcase?
Sure. So in the BRL, I also put it in the IWAR magazine. A few cycles ago, Joe Tusa, the wrestler, came out and stabbed King Khan. And we were surprised. And so we wanted to do something about it. Now, the way it runs out is, Tusa comes out bragging, and Dick Jackson, the commissioner, comes out, and he's like, hold up, and hilarity ensues. But Dick Jackson says, look, there's a big decision here. Suplex, the IWAR commissioner walks out and announces that they've stripped him of the contract because of his stabbing Joe Tusa. And if you read it, you'll see little notes like, hitting someone with a chair, put him through a table, choking him out with a cowbell, all those things. Okay, but no stabbing.
No stabbing.
And as a result, Adam Cash comes out too, and there's some little bit of flavorful language in there. But the result is they're double booking the ladder match. So now the ladder match battle royal will have 2 briefcases instead of 1. So there'll be double the chance to win one. And again, this is a battle royal the IWA does as a separate entity battle royal with different results and everything else from the regular battle royals. So, like they say, well, the holes number 1, 7, 8, and 9, well, it's going to be different from the league. And the top 2 finishers in that battle royal will each get a briefcase and split the entry fees down the middle. So that's kind of cool. 2 winners, good chance. Right now we're at about 16 entries. No, I'm sorry, 17, 18. So get those in. It's $1 per wrestler, 3 maximum, and it's a fun little thing to do. Now it works just like the Money in the Bank from the WWE wrestling thing, where you can cash it in. The difference is you need to let us know before the cycle runs that that's the cycle you're cashing it in, and then you roll the dice. So in the BRL out of character portion, I talked about we did this for two reasons. One was, character-wise, it makes sense. It does a little bit, angle-wise, it promotes Joe Tusa as a maniac and all this. The other thing was Joe Tusa is what I call an off-the-grid player. He plays by mail. So it's exceedingly difficult to get, fast results. So what we did most of the year was I actually watched the results come out, and the way it was going to work was if he had a score high enough to beat the IWAR champion, he would have cashed in to beat him. Unfortunately, all year long, he missed 3 times by 1 point. So because he didn't quite hit that, he didn't get a chance to actually cash it in. And we figured, this will be better than just taking it from him and not doing anything with it. Or we talked about possibly doing like a special battle royal. And I was like, you know what? Let's do something different. And I think Jimmy actually mentioned about doing two of them at the same time. So I was like, that's good. Let's do it. So there's 2 chances to win now. So there it is. That's breaking big news, folks.
And in true Joe Tusa style, he will probably win that battle royal again. He finished second in this battle royal, by the way. This cycle's battle royal in the BRL.
Yep, he's good at the battle royal. That's why I became a Joe Tusa mark. So he kept winning the battle royals in the was it the SVL? I forget where he was. We took him away though. We poached that league. So there it is. Battle Royal League, chock full of excitement.
I, in fact, do dig it. Where are we going next?
Well, let's see what we got left. RTL and WTL?
Yep.
Well, let's see. I just did BRL, so who wants to do RTL?
I'll do
the RTL.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, not it. You're up. I got WTL.
All right, I'll do RTL. Let me pull it up. Da. Do. Okay, RTL. Snake Venom. I'm sorry. Rolling Thunder League. Fall 2025. League champion. Ah, shit. Onagi? Onagi? I feel like there should be
Onagi.
I feel like there's an apostrophe missing of some sort. TV champion Snacks. Center Plains champion Uncle Slow Mo. East Coast champion Uncut Gem Greggy Money. Great Lakes champion Graveyard Dog. Mid-Atlantic champion The Menacing Minister. Northeast champion The Sugar Don. Northwest champion, Pacific Northwest champion Titanic. Rocky Mountain champion Ginsu. My dad once bought those knives off an infomercial. Southeast champion Must See DBGZ. Southwest champion Jose. West Coast champion The Texan. TV tag team champions Derek Cash Styles and Thomas TD Bank. 6-man champions The Texan, Automatic Slim, and T-Bird. And your Battle Royal winner, winning 15 free RTL matches, Uncut Gem Greggy Money. So what's going down in the RTL? What do we have? We have their next pay-per-view was what? Unnatural Disaster? Is that it?
Yes. Actually, I can give you a... He wrote to me and...
you got notes?
Shook things up a bit. Let's see here. The Barrow Militia won't be coming in until about March, so they're working on kind of bridging the gap with some matches.
Mm-hmm.
We have some kind of build up. There's new managers coming in with new players, so we're hoping to get those guys up and running and jumping right in. And of course, I think I wouldn't say my current favorite wrestler, but Greggy Money is one of my favorites right now in the game.
He's killing it.
Greggy Money. So
he's killing it.
There it is. Yeah,
he's killing it. Okay. So the next pay-per-view was Unnatural Disaster.
Yeah, the lineup's there in the.
Yep. So there's a Thundercut Finals that they're going to have. They're going to have the True Impact Tag Team Championship match, which is going to be Profits of Pain taking on the Match Militia, taking on T-Bird and Texan. You get a True Impact Blockbuster Championship, number 1 Contenders Battle Royal, which so far has Dan Corvette and O Inagi, TV champs, the Battle Royal for number 49 as well. Then the Quiet Storm Last Standing Scramble, winner gets $30,000. Again, card subject to chance. And if you're not on the card and want to be, trash talk your way in. It's going to be huge. I think that's like, I think it's a big thing that people don't necessarily realize is like, number 1, contact your commissioner, have a rapport, talk to them. It's probably a good idea. Number 2, if you want to do something, say it. Like, get involved. Like,
and also notice that there's a special write-up in this issue called Massacre at the Mirage. So great minds think alike.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. All right, and we're going to do WTL to close us out.
Yeah, sorry, I was checking out the Massacre at the Mirage. I haven't had a chance to see that yet. All right, so the WTL number 118. Your Western Frontier champion, Ravishing Rex Chambers. Lone Star champion, Dr. Payne. Central Plains champion, The Brains, Bo Buckshot. Mexico champion, Paladin Boone. Dodge City champion, Mr. Pennynickel. Tombstone champ, Night Court. Plainview champ, Sean Cordova. Widowmaker champ, Ruby Soul Holdup. Badlands champ, The Turnbuckle Kid. Cripple Creek champ, Whiskey Wade Everett. Southwest champ, Zorro. Chisholm Trail champ, Weed TP. And your tag team champs are Levi Wrangler and Weed TP. Your Lone Star tag team champs, Ruby Soul Holdup and Tim Pressive. Western Frontier 6-man champs, the Nutty Bunnies. And your Lone Star 6-man champs, the Wild Card, Billy Buckshot, the Brains, Bo Buckshot, and Benji Buckshot. And your Bunkhouse Brawl winner is Mr. Pennynickel. So, a lot going on in the WTL. Some trouble brewing for 4.5 Horsemen as they gear up to face off against AI. Where is the pay-per-view write-up? You guys are much faster at this than I am.
We've been doing it for 200 episodes.
Yeah, good Lord.
Matt, you want to talk to the...
Well, just so you know, there are several things going on in the WTL, which is nice. Adam's a nice job giving a very robust report with lots of stuff to, read through, go through, get involved with. So it's nice. So, if you're in the WTL, and WTL has been growing in size, you'll notice that he has, things that each cycle are going on as far as, challenges, chance to win prizes or money. Let's see here. Upcoming events and contests. So the Sheriff of the Ring, November 25th. So that's going to be this cycle coming up, not this cycle after. For the December write-up will be the event there, and that's getting it filled out. So let's see here. Looks like the Texas Tornado Tag 6-man rules for that. We got the Texas Tag Champions, the 4.5 Horsemen, and the 6-man champions of the Buckshots, which is really good collaboration between It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I am a big fan of. Just fun fact, my best friend went to college, and he was like that always. He's a very eccentric kid. Good guy, though. Let's see here. Chainsaw Chuck still the Western Trails champion. So I don't want to run through all this, but there's just a lot of good stuff in here to take in. And I think if you like a league where there's two big things about this. One, there's a lot to take in, but two, it's not complex. You don't lose yourself going like, well, how do I do this? How does that work? We had the finals. So here we go. There's a little lineup here. Western Trails Championship, Chainsaw Chuck versus Outlaw Ace and Eights. We got a War Games match. The 4.5 Horsemen's Aggressive Intentions. We got the finals of King Cowboy Schlitz versus Lanny Teague, Sheriff of the Ring.
Oh.
Yeah. And let's see, Texas Levi Wrangler and Wee TP, not Lee TP, you damn kids, versus the Bastard Sons, Turnbuckle Kid and Whiskey Wade. See, Buckshots versus Maryland Blue Bloods. We got a contenders match, Baylor versus Contender Series winner, and Rex Chambers versus mystery opponent. And Rex Chambers 501. So
Ravishing Rex Chambers.
Yeah,
My man.
lighting it up. Lighting it up in the WTL.
You know, when you talk about the draft, and I guess one of the underrated things is like when your guy is moving over, right? So Ricky Spanish recently got drafted to the Western Heritage Trails League, and I'm just looking for the right moment to jump in there. You know what I mean? That can always be interesting. Like, it makes you follow a league that you're not necessarily in, looking for the right timing of it, because again, timing is everything. You want to make the biggest impact, especially when you're drafted into the league. So that's what I'm currently looking. I'm looking for the right time to kind of just jump in there and kind of get involved. Maybe at a pay-per-view. Who knows?
That's right.
I dig it. All right, Matt, you want to go through IWAR wide?
Yeah, a couple of things. One is I just want to who sent notes or reached out about my dad passing away last week. I appreciated it. It's been a very hectic week. We just had the funeral yesterday, and it was good to get back out of the way. I'm sorry I didn't do more TT and all that, but I was kind of pressed for time, so I kind of banged out what I could. So thankfully, Jimmy's write-up was there to step in and save the day. I also want to quickly note, send well wishes to Scott. He is not doing great. He's back in the hospital. He's going to be in a rehab facility soon. When I know more, you'll all know more. But keep Scott in your thoughts, as they say.
We love you, buddy.
Yeah, we miss you, and get better. Let's get you better and get back to Vegas. So IWAR wide. All right. So let's see. Johnny B Cup, the Murano Memorial, and the Lethal Lottery 6-man tournament are all going to begin in January. So you go, oh, January. Well, it's almost November. So we're collecting signups now. I want to get those things filled out and ready. And then when that away has their little vacation for the 2-week extra break, I'll be able to book everything up and throw that all together. Next up, of course, the ladder match battle royal is in December, and that actually happens in November. So the signups have to be ASAP. So don't drag your feet. Don't think I'll do it later. I've been getting emails the last couple of days. I've been rattling cages. So there's that. When it comes to the current fall events wrapping up, those go as follow. Now I'm gonna break down the final results, but the way it works is each round's highest scorer gets part of the IWAR credit. And so the final cycle's winner and the winner of the Bound for Glory, the Chameleon.
Oh!
There you go. Surprise. I'll break down the credit prizes over the next couple of days, and I'll send an email out of IWA and tell players who won what, because there's multiple events and some players won different cycle rounds.
Okay.
The Tag Team Derby was a multi-tiebreaker, but the overall winner of the Tag Team Derby, James Carnage and Jesse Tombstone.
Ah! God
yes,
damn it.
that took a 3-cycle tiebreaker because he, Levi Wrangler, WTP, and then Artie Fishel and Benny Factor all had 5/16s, but had to go back to the second round of action to break the tie because they all had 5/14s last cycle. So congratulations, Ryan. And then in the Triple D Cup Trios tourney, the winner with a 5/19 in the final round, the Regulators. So Ryan having himself quite the cycle. Congrats.
I'm surprised he
Ryan
hasn't
and
hopped
Jeremy.
in the gloat about this yet. Where is he? Right now?
I know.
Unbelievable.
He was tired. He had a long day.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, next up, I want to talk about the IWAR awards process. So, what we do each year is we have a nomination email go out, and you send out who you want to nominate for various awards. We do it a bit differently. So, what you get is everybody gets essentially one login for a ballot, and there's the different awards. And if I pull up the IWAR magazine and go to here it is, the awards page, which is, I think it's like the 4th page in the magazine. It says, 2025 IWAR Network Achievement Award nominations. So what you do is you send us your nominations in that link. And someone told me the link wasn't working off the page, but you should be able to grab that link and post it into a URL and get it to go. But the things you vote on most popular, most hated, inspirational, feud, most improved, manager of the year, non-wrestler of the year, which, by the way, is things like manager characters, valets, non-player characters, if you will, NPCs. Anyone who had a character besides a wrestler who added to the flavor, like Gene Poole,
Crazy.
Your most memorable moments, and who is what we consider the IWAR MVP. Now, that is someone who we consider not like the wrestler of the year. That's a separate award. This is more the case of a wrestler who, was great in trash talk, setting things up, feuds, interactive, played off other people's TT. The first winner was Big Guns Greg Garner. Last year was Luther Alexander. And sort of like, who's doing the most work. So there's I can think of people off the top of my head. I won't name them, but that are very active in different leagues. They're doing all these things. Their characters are very vivid. So it's kind of like, what was the character of the year? What character really stood out? What wrestler stood out the most? So there you have it. And what you do, again, you click on the link, and I would suggest you this. Take like an hour or so and write down your ideas, because what you do is you don't do it once per league. You do it once. But what happens is you can write in the text box as much as you want. So you can say, like, for example, one guy was asking earlier, Derek said, like, hey, how would this work with women? Well, if you're in the feud tab, right, and let's say, who do you think was the feud of the year? You can put, like, BWL - Mother D versus Aria Gunpowder. Or you could do BRL, and it's Greg Garner versus Monstruck Tanaka. And then CWL, Barry Stevens versus an angry fan. And you put them all in each one, and then you go through it and you submit it, and I get an actual spreadsheet that shows me everybody's vote, and then I tabulate it, and we basically compare notes, all the commissioners, and then they kind of finalize the awards, and then I do a huge write-up, which is a daunting task, but I love doing it once a year because you actually have to capture all kinds of little bits of information.
It's so hard. It's a ridiculous thing that you do, by the way.
Yeah,
I
love doing it.
It's insane.
I hate it, but I love it. So I think that's. Let's see. I think that's it for here. I would just say again, we need people to do the spotlight. So if you want to be a volunteer to take part, Alex did the first show, and it's just to kind of talk about IWA time and other stuff about wrestling. So it's a little fun review.
It's kind of like a get to know you.
Yes. So there you go. So that's that.
All right, man. I dig it. Alrighty. So I think so my movie recommendations for Johnny B to watch would be Basket Case and Sleepaway Camp would be the two I would have him watch. This cycle, you can go back and report on watching those films.
Pumpkinhead.
All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Jimmy and for Matt, I'm Alex G.